Because that Dale has signaled the sign for the West to take the field. Let's start the second defense. We'll pass to the team. First base, number 14, Olivia Williams. Second base, number 6, Emma Sealy. Third base, 16, is Happy Man. Haley Mann. Number 2, shortstop, Kate Gerard. In the outfield, number 3, the left fielder is Riley Haynes. Center field, number 5, Reed Sanger. And the right fielder, number 10, Sam Wellington. You just saw Josie Kogel celebratory first pitch. And in the circle, the pitcher, number 17, Kylie Kenyon. Pacific, shortstop number 4, Audrey Colleen Matamon.
Blue, call both ways!
First baseman, Jewel Miles Bayhawk. Asia Pacific first baseman number 17, Therese Marvita.
That ball drops in front of her, but really good piece of hitting. Barlita's got some great power and just does a nice job of just squaring up that ball, dropping it in there in front of Haynes.
Barlita's been one of the best bats this week, continuing that trend in the early going today. Cheska Palmera. That first pitch catches the outside corner, strike one.
Palmera not having a lot of hits this tournament so far, but has come up with 3 RBIs. So in that 4 spot, obviously been valuable to bring some runs across the plate.
Same pitch, not quite the same result. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kenyon came on and threw the final 3 innings yesterday against Czechia and struck out 4.
Great off speed there. She pulls the string on it, and I think it's great to see Kenyon here going to that changeup early and changing speeds.
Bounces. Barlita stays at first.
Kugel does a good job of rallying that up, holding onto that, and keeping that runner at first base.
Kugel with a big home run yesterday. That's high, 3-2.
Kenyon going deep in the count here in this first inning. I think sometimes it's a challenge figuring out the plate umpire's strike zone.
And we'll do it again.
I think both these teams, one of the things we've seen from both these teams is that they don't swing at a lot of balls. They're really disciplined and on the offensive side force their pitchers to throw a lot of strikes.
And Palmera hit a go-ahead 2-run triple against Foothill Little League last year in Kirkland. That's ball 4. First and second with 2 out.
Quality walk there, obviously, for Palmera. Most importantly, moves that runner into scoring position now with a really dangerous hitter up in Faith Tamba. Faith has 2 RBIs on the weekend with an OPS of 1.045, hitting .455. So she's a threat with a runner here in score position, first inning.
Swing and a miss on the off-speed, 0-1. And as impressive as Tamba has been at the plate so far this week, that's nothing compared to what she's been doing in the circle. We'll talk a lot more about that as this show goes along. Off-speed again, misses high, 1-1.
So Kenyon going right to that off-speed right off the bat. I think it's pretty smart. Tamba is going to be in there trying to drive the ball, and tougher to do on that slow pitch.
Turns on that one, fouls it off. 1-2. Tamba says, reminds us, what do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta.
Impasta.
See what she did there? Past Kenyon to Bard, and it gets through. Barlita hesitates. The throw, not in time. Barlita scores.
Tough situation there for Kenyon. She gets the ground ball. Bard does a good job of getting squared up on that ball, but looks like she gets visually blocked out a little bit by the runner. As that ball's coming in, she's prepared to field and I think distracted by that runner coming by, takes a little bit of a bad hop. And once again, that walk proved critical, moving that runner to scoring position so that they could score on that miscue. And they're not done. Runners on second and third here.
That brings up Jolie Fab Diaz. Reaches out, fouls it off, no balls and 1 strike. Oh, by the way, we talked about California and what it can do at the plate at the start of the show. Not for nothing, that's only the 5th run that Foothill Little League has allowed so far this week.
Palo Cedro's been very, very stingy on giving up runs. So pretty impressive, obviously, for the Philippines to score here in the first inning. And we know with Faith Tamba on the mound, she doesn't give up a lot of runs. So will be interesting to see how that holds up. The last time these two teams faced, it was 1-1 going into the late innings of the game.
Yep. Josie Kogel, the catcher, set up on the outside, and that's where the pitch ended up. 2-2. Beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. Temperature around 80 degrees. Perfect conditions. That one's pumped down low. 3-2.
Important Kenyon here, full count. She's got first base open, so she needs to throw a quality pitch. She's still a dangerous hitter, and so the last thing she needs to do is trying to throw something down the middle here just to get a strike. You throw a good pitch.
Third full count. Second walk.
It's an interesting call there with that off-speed pitch. But again, I think a good job of Kenyon to try and get her to fish for a pitch, but not necessarily throwing a ball down the middle.
So Palmera at third, Tomba at second, Diaz at first, and Chantel and Tira. Reaches out, doesn't connect.
We're seeing a lot of off-speed pitches here out of Kenyon. And Tira hitting from that left side.
0-2 now.
Great pitch, great movement on that pitch, actually dropping off the table. Kenyon's quickly to 0-2 here and would love to get out of this inning here with only the 1 run scored.
Fouls that one off. It was Antira's RBI single that walked it off for the Philippines in the bottom of the 8th inning yesterday. Down 1-0, heading to the bottom of the 7th, down to their last strike. But a dropped foul off by the catcher opened the door. They tied it up from there and then won it in 8 off Antira's bat.
It really was a game changer when that ball dropped yesterday and allowed her to work to get on base. Those 4 consecutive hits.
High, 2-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
A lot of action here in this first half of the inning.
Gets her on the off speed, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Philippines get 1, but they also leave them loaded. Asia Pacific region champs ahead by 1, with the West region champs coming to bat. And Kylie Kenyon gets out of the bases loaded jam. Everest Park, Kirkwood, Washington. Junior League Softball World Series. We are in semifinal mode. Philippines with 1 run across in the top of the 1st inning. And they will turn to Faith Tomba in the circle. She has thrown every single pitch for the Philippines this week, and she has been nearly untouchable.
She's been a warrior. Actually, the only game that she had the miscue on was the first game against this team, and ended up coming back and throwing a full, complete game the next game. So just a warrior in the mound, and 60 Ks, incredibly impressive.
Yeah, 60 Ks and only 1 walk this week. Not a typo, folks. We'll get to the California batting order in a moment. It does begin with Kate Brard. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Pitch misses outside for ball 1. Brard 2 for 2 with an RBI in a win over the Southwest region champs from Texas. That was a 15-2 result in 5 innings on Wednesday.
Berard comes into the game hitting .500 with an OPS of 1.34.
Fouled off, 1-1.
She certainly would love to lead off with a hit here to help her teammate out after that miscue in the first inning.
It's California lineup, 1 through 12. Brianna Songer, by the way, has reached in 9 consecutive plate appearances. 7 for 7 with 2 walks.
The epitome of on fire.
Of course, Kenyon super dangerous at the plate too. Here's the 1-1. High strike call, 2-1. They check that 1-2. 60 strikeouts versus 1 walk. Is that good? Is that something I can interest you in?
That is pitching world class 101.
And it goes even deeper than that. When we say that Faith Tamba throws strikes, she throws strikes. Numerical proof in a moment. That's high, 2-2. Tamba coming into today had thrown 469 pitches. 388 of them went for strikes. That's an 83% clip. Meanwhile, you look at the strikeout leaders for this week coming into the day, it's not even close.
Well, Tamba's done a great job, and obviously the West here has seen her. They do have an advantage. They've seen her game. They've seen how she throws. They know she throws strikes. We saw them make some adjustments later in the game where they weren't taking as many pitches, and I think that's a strategy that they're going to come into this game with. Knowing that Tamba's throwing strikes, there's no reason to keep that bat on your shoulder. Go after good pitches and swing early in the count.
Berard wrote that one foul down the line. Count stays at 2-2. Fly ball to left. Diaz backing up, and it is gone.
Berard does a great job of swinging hard on that out pitch. And you know that she's feeling great about that after the error in that first inning. Getting her team back on the board and tying this ball game up. First batter of the game against Tamba. Sending a big message.
A Kate Berard bomb ties the game at 1 apiece, and this was a no doubt about it shot.
Does a great job of staying inside this pitch. It's a higher pitch. She attacks that ball, talks the top half up there, and gets all of it. Puts it up there under the hillside. Souvenir for a fan.
Meanwhile, Kate Berard says, hey, let's keep this going. Riley Haynes at the plate. Fouls that one off. No balls and 1 strike.
Riley Haynes coming out swinging again. First pitch right here. Again, I think the advantage of this team having faced Tamba, which is that they know she's going to throw strikes and they know she doesn't throw off speed. So get on time and swing the bat.
The 0-1. It's pumped maybe just a touch low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
As good as Tamba has been, she is vulnerable to that long ball because of the speed that she throws.
Yep. And you're not going to see a whole lot of variation in speed from Tamba. The 1-1. Popped up and out of play.
You really don't. She will change speeds a little bit, and she'll spin a ball a little bit more than another pitch, but we're not talking about a true off speed. It's maybe a few miles an hour different, but she is bringing really good velo all the time and around the strike zone. So she's going to need to be smart enough here to adjust, and when she gets ahead is try and get the hitters to chase a little bit and spin the ball a little bit more than just try and throw it by them.
Or if all else fails, you just rear back and do that.
It's a great moving pitch there. The key there, obviously, is the movement on that pitch. Starts at the top part of that strike zone and really carries on out. Great movement with a great aggressive swing by Haynes.
First strikeout of the day dealt by Tamba. That brings up Kylie Kenyon. Last time these two squared off, Kenyon won the battle. A 2-run home run in the top of the 7th. That ended up being the deciding runs.
Great take there by Kenyon. You can see she was looking to swing on that first pitch. She was not waiting to see what she was going to throw. She was ready to swing and does a great job of holding up. We've seen a great discipline out of this West team, not chasing a lot of balls out of the zone.
In fair territory, Chua ranges over and makes the catch. 2 away.
If there's been one thing that's been a little bit vulnerable or a nemesis for Kenyon, has been the ball in the air, right? She popped up 3 times yesterday. They were well hit, but she's got to probably make adjustment off of Tamba here and look to get a little bit more middle of the ball and not so on the bottom half.
Well, here's Bree Songer, who has reached in 9 consecutive plate appearances over the last 3 games. 7 at-bats, 7 hits, and a couple of walks.
Songer has been fun to watch offensively and doing a great job defensively as well. We see her making some great plays in center field. Right now, she wants to get on board.
This one's popped up, giving chase Palmera and Barlita, but neither of them can get there. Souvenir for a young lady who will be rooting for North Carolina later on today, representing the Southeast region. You've got Southeast versus Central coming up in game number 2 today.
Looked like she was enjoying her Otter Pop, which is sounds really good.
Gosh, I haven't
toasty day out there.
I haven't had an Otter Pop in years.
A little bit of a change in speed there. A little bit felt like it was an off-speed pitch.
It seems like that's about as off-speed as you're going to get from Tamba.
It will be interesting to see if she has to go to that a little bit more with these hitters coming out swinging and appearingly to be on time.
Fouled off again. Count stays at 1-2. Bree plays Little League to improve her skills and have fun with her friends. Those are 2 good reasons.
Well, she's been having fun at the plate. She brings a .667 batting average in here with 8 hits, 4 RBIs. Right now, she'd love to be a leadoff.
Fouled off again.
She is a multi-sport athlete, plays both volleyball and basketball, and has good height with a passion for marine biology.
Yeah. It's a good part of the country for that, by the way, here in the Pacific Northwest. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled back.
Well, Tamba's reading, obviously, that Bree is swinging and on time. So right now, Tamba's got a good job of making sure she spins the ball well. There's no need for her to bring a ball over the strike zone at this point in time with a 1-2 count. Might see her take the ball inside here, high and tight.
Goes inside, doesn't get the call, 2-2.
It's a great location pitch by Tamba right there on that inside. Pretty gutsy move on Songer's part there to take that pitch, not knowing yet what that umpire's strike zone might look like on that inner half. But that takes her to 2-2.
Long at bat. And Bree Songer has now reached in 10 straight plate appearances.
Impressive at bat, to say the least. Battles off there with 2 strikes for quite a while. And again, Tamba brings the ball a little too close to the plate with the way Songer's been swinging.
8 of 8 with 2 walks. Inning extended. Olivia Rowland coming to the plate to face Tamba. It's a good pitch. Gets the call. 0-1.
Really nice pitch there by Tamba. I think she does a good job of getting ahead by throwing a pitch on the outside half, not trying to necessarily overpower in that upper zone. She's been hit harder on that upper zone pitch. She's going to need to work the corners a little bit.
Here's a high fly ball to left. Diaz goes up and grabs it at the track. But it was a ball that left the yard that has things tied here after one inning. Kate Brard goes yard with the leadoff shot, and it's 1-1 after one. Tied at one apiece as we head to the second inning. The young ladies from Bacolod City in the Philippines, where it's about 4:30 on Saturday morning, are about to pick up the bats. Folks rooting on West. There's Lizzie Halandoni, rather, the manager of the Bacolod City Little League squad that is here. She says, once you get into the game, don't look back. I like that.
Well, the game is played in the moment, and you can't play too far in the future, and you certainly can't play in the past.
Gotta be in the here and now. Kylie Kenyon in the circle, Jenny Rose Hermojino at the plate.
Spending too much time in the past can be depressing. Focus too much on the future can bring a lot of anxiety. So staying where your feet are as an athlete is really the goal of every athlete at every level. I think that the challenges are the mental side of the game when you're thinking about your at-bat or thinking about what's coming or thinking about the score. Can distract you from being in the moment.
That's the task for the youngsters that are on the field. I'm always fascinated by how the coaches kind of have to approach things because, yes, coaches have to live in the moment, but they also kind of have to be thinking a few steps ahead as well, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. Strategically, there's opportunity for sure. I think when you're the base coach, you're thinking 2 and 3 batters ahead, potentially if something happens and how you might use what you have coming up. I think certainly defensively, pitching-wise, you're thinking about strategically how to make moves. So it's definitely a role of a coach more so than as an athlete.
This is the 4th full count for Kenyon so far today. But here she wins the battle. Strike 3.
Using that off speed, just throwing a ton of off speeds here even in the second inning. Great pitch, drops off the table. Not much that she can do with that. Tip your cap, hustle back to the dugout, and prepare for your next opportunity.
Angel Chua looks at a first pitch called a ball.
Well, I think the strategy is obvious here for the West, coming out with Kenyon starting. Obviously tells you that they wanted to rely on her changeup. And then they've got obviously some arms that can come in behind her with Haley Mann, excuse me, has been really effective.
Smack to left. Base hit. Chua is aboard.
Chua does a nice job, good piece of hitting. Attacks the hard one that comes in and drives that ball down the left field line. Hustling down the line, potentially thinking about taking 2 there, I think, when she was coming out of the box. But Haynes keeps that in front and keeps her to a single.
Georgina Mael Castillo, the batter. Looks at strike 1 here.
Just freezes Castillo right there. Front foot comes down, heels go down, and she is stuck with that off-speed pitch.
The bunt back to Kenyon. Throws to first. And now caught up between second and third. Chua in trouble. Trying to wriggle her way out of it and can't.
Well done by the West. Good solid defense. Takes advantage of a base running miscue there from the Philippines.
Chua coming around second and then just gets caught in that no man's land. California hangs in there. Persistence pays off. There's the tag. And moments like this might need to remember as this game goes along. Philippines and California tied at 1 apiece. Bottom second inning about to begin. Follow the amazing kids as they experience their own Little League World Series adventure. Download the Little League World Series app and watch highlights, photos, schedules, and more. Available in the app stores for Apple and Android devices. If you want to go back and see the highlights from the first time these two teams met back on Sunday, I would highly recommend it. That was pure drama. If you want to go back and see how the Philippines came back and won and beat Puerto Rico yesterday, I highly recommend that. Head to the Little League World Series app and check it out. They've got the hookup.
It's been some really exciting games. Both these teams have been involved in some tremendous games. If you are a fan of softball, you would be loving this. It's been a great week. I've loved every minute of it. This is my 13th game of the week, and it has flown by.
And your first time here in Kirkland?
Absolutely.
At least for this event, anyway. 1 ball, no strikes to Val Shaw. And that pitch is high. 2-0.
Val Shaw is a triple threat here. She obviously has all kinds of tools and ways to get on base. She's got great speed. She'll bunt, she'll sneaky bunt, she'll slap, she'll drive the ball. And so coaches love her in this secondary leadoff spot here, right here, starting off this inning.
And it's worked, especially against Texas when she went 3 for 3 and drove in 3. That one's in there, called strike 1.
Great pitch by Tamba. Tamba does an excellent job of working the corners and finding her zone. We haven't talked about this, Shaw's favorite athlete, Kylie Luchar. former Oregon Duck. And the Oregon Ducks are her favorite team.
And here we are in Washington Husky country. With that campus about 10 miles to our east here in Kirkland. Meanwhile, 3-1, a rare 3-ball count with Tamba in the circle.
Shaw doing a good job of being disciplined here.
The bunt back to Tamba, one gun.
Well, one thing that we know about Tamba is that she can field that position as well as anybody. She is certainly a fifth infielder out there, and there was no doubt she was going to snag that bunt attempt.
Brings up Josie Kogel. Kogel with a solo home run yesterday against Czechia, part of a 5-0 win. Appeal to first base umpire John Ignacio. Says the Kogel went around, strike one.
Well, she makes an aggressive move. Looks like she holds up, but umpire says no. Says that's an attempt. I like that she was coming out looking to swing, obviously off of Tamba, but couldn't hold up.
Count goes to 1-1. Josie's dad, Buck, a firefighter.
Obviously thinking about all the firefighters out there right now.
Yep.
Here in the Washington area, North Pacific Northwest.
Fouled off. We've had some very hazy and smoky days here in the Seattle metro area for much of the week. Appears to have improved yesterday and so far today as well. But massive wildfires out towards Spokane on the opposite end of the state.
And while it's nice having the clear air here, it'll be even better when they get those fires under control.
Slow roll to first. Bahar handles it. Bahar's been steady at first base all week.
She's made some great plays. I think it's been some of her defensive excellence that's really paid off for the Philippines. She does a good job of digging balls, keeping her foot on the base. Been a vacuum for balls on the ground.
Here's Haley Mann. Swings and misses. No balls and one strike. Haley Mann loves a good lake day. Well, there's a good lake about, what, half hour down the road from us right now, Lake Washington?
I think less than a half hour, more like probably 5 minutes. But I don't think she's going to be on this lake here today. She's busy today, but she does like the lake and spends a lot of time. I think there's some great lakes there in Northern California, not far from where she lives, Palo, Cedro.
Did I say half hour? I meant half mile.
There you go. Well, I guess if you walk it, it might take you.
It might take you a while.
30 minutes.
Maybe. No balls, 2 strikes. Chopped foul.
Nice pitch by Tamba there, down and in. Changing it up a little bit. To look and see, it might have been a little bit of an attempt on an off speed, but it certainly was more down and in than she normally throws.
No balls, 2 strikes. Touch high, 1-2.
Great pitch. Love that pitch from Tamba. Man does a great job of holding up, working the count.
Man hit a solo home run here in Kirkland last year. Swings through this one, strike 3. Tamba's second K of the day. Philippines won. California won with 2 innings in the book. But she gets the upper hand here. There's Lake Washington. Beautiful weather in the Pacific Northwest. Hard to beat in this part of the country. Junior League Softball World Series has been hard to beat this week as well. We're off to a good start in this game. One apiece, top third beginning. See some members of the Canada champions from Quebec, Repentigny, Quebec, hanging out in the shade off in the distance.
The fans here are seeking some shade. It's a nice day here, and while the sun feels good, I think if you have a chance to get in the shade, I think you're going to do it. It's a great seat there in center field. Sit in the shade. Great view of the game.
Kenyon deals a first pitch strike to Janine Pasilan. Janine says her hobbies include discovering cool facts. The 0-1 from Kenyon. Philippines, one of 4 teams from international regions here in Kirkland, and all 4 of those teams made it into the championship bracket. But the Philippines, the only one left remaining.
They would love to represent all the international teams and make it to that finals. But I think the West is going to have something to say about that.
Yep. Canada, the young ladies from Quebec. Latin America region represented by Guayama, Puerto Rico. The Europe-Africa region champions from Prague in Czechia. And Bacolod City in the Philippines. Off-speed, got it, looking, ring her up.
Kenyon doing a great job, really hitting spots. Continuing to use that off-speed pitch, I think does a great job. That's got great movement on it and really just ties up the hitter and disrupts their timing.
Just pulled the string. Here's Jamaica, Bernadette Sirocco. A chop that caroms away. And Sirocco safe at first.
I think Saley makes the right move here to try and go get the short hop. Just pulls up a little bit short and doesn't stay down on it. Sirocco will certainly take that, and so will the Philippines to have a runner on here.
Here's Aline Passion, the batter for the Philippines. She was at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs. And on an 0-2 pitch, she popped up in foul territory. The catcher from Puerto Rico converged, had a chance to make a play on it, but couldn't catch the ball. And on the very next pitch, she hit a double. Here she lines one right back to Kenyon, who twirls and throws to first for the 1-3 double play.
Kenyon just does a great job fielding her position out there. Similar to Tamba, they are exceptional infielders and take care of that ball.
Cat-quick reflexes from Kenyon. It's 1-4 on the putout. Metro Hudsonville, Central Region champs from Michigan in the house. They will have their turn later on this afternoon when they face the Southeast Region champs from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here we've got the Philippines versus California, Asia Pacific versus the West. Tightly contested game. Get the feeling it's going to come down to little things. And here we move to the bottom of the third inning. The 9 spot in California's batting order begins with Wes Berry. That one's fouled off and out of play. Keeping an eye on Faith Tamba's strike ratio. We've mentioned that she's been throwing strikes 83% of the time all week coming into the day. Well, coming into this inning, 22 strikes and 35 pitches. That's just 63%.
I think part of that has to do with the West swinging aggressively and coming right at the strike zone and fouling off a lot of pitches. Those are pitches that often go for swing and misses, and right now the West has done a great job of putting the ball in play. Forces Tamba to move the ball around out of the strike zone a little bit more. And again, the West, as we've seen, is very disciplined. So not surprised. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed with. Obviously, she still brings the heat and can get the swing and miss.
Yes, sir.
I think it's just about being strategic more than anything else. And we've seen a really interesting situation here. Both pitchers coming at their strategy completely different, right? Tamba bringing the heat. Kenyon, while she has the hard pitch, using a lot of off-speed.
Fouled over us. Count stays at 1-2 on Wesley Berry, who likes baking.
And would love to be a lawyer. Two-sport athlete, volleyball, basketball player, so likes to do different things.
In the air to left, coming up as Diaz has a ways to go, but is able to make the running catch for out number 1.
Diaz does a good job of really tracking to see that ball before she takes off. Once she gets a read on it, she gets on her horse and makes a really nice catch. First out of the inning is always big right now. We've seen in this game that both teams have, I think, been pressing a little bit and trying to get a little bit aggressive, and we've seen a couple of double plays and running into a couple of outs.
Gracie Wilson looks at a first pitch ball, a touch high.
Great discipline there. It looked like it was going to be a strike.
Wilson in the 10 spot in California's batting order. 1 ball and no strikes. That goes over, evens out 1 ball and 1 strike to Gracie Wilson, who says that her favorite influencers are her parents. She says they aren't famous, but they did influence who she is.
I don't know if that influence is coming through social media, but that's probably a great thing.
Yeah. Probably better in the long run. 1-1. Good
Great pitch on the outside. Tamba threading the needle on that outside. We've seen a great job from Palmera all week long. I think she might have caught every one of those pitches that Tamba's been throwing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
I think we're seeing Tamba settle in here a little bit, and I think she had a little bit of adrenaline going early and might have been throwing a little bit flatter, but these pitches have great movement on them. You can see her on the outside. It's not only location, but just really nice movement. Swing and a miss. Just how Tamba likes it. A foul tip there. Off the knob. Oh. I think it might have gone off the knob. I don't think it hit her arm.
But Emma Saley will happily take first base.
I think they might have take a look at it. I think it hit the knob. I don't know that it hit her arm.
Dan Hoffman, the home plate umpire, has a close-up look at it.
Certainly it was obvious. You could hear it even up here. You knew it hit something, but so not surprising that he called time there, but based on where that ball is crossing, I don't think there's any body part that it could have hit. I think it hit the knob of the bat. We'll see if his partners can help him out here, but I don't see a body part in position to be hit, so I think that what was hit was the knob of the bat. Slight deflection. You definitely could hear it. I guarantee if it hit her arm, she would have known that.
Yes, and I think there might have been a slightly different reaction too, but hey, who knows? Lisby Hollandoni challenging the call. Managers have the chance to challenge as many calls as they please, unless they get 2 of them wrong. If they have 2 unsuccessful challenges during regulation, then they cannot challenge anymore.
And you have to remember the video evidence has to be undisputable to overturn it. So I think you're going to see pretty clearly that the forearm is not really in a position to get hit. I think the only thing that's...
Knuckles, maybe? Maybe?
I think it's more likely than not that it came off the knob. This might be the best angle right here. I think certainly you can see that it did not hit her body. Hands are part of the bat, so I think they'll probably be bringing her back and call that as strike 1.
Again, our opinions up here in the booth when it comes to these things are not the official ones.
They might be the best, but they're not necessarily official.
And even sometimes that might be a
This
question.
is true. This is true.
Meanwhile, a chance for a dance party to break out in the circle. 1 apiece here in the bottom of the 3rd inning between California and the Philippines. The winner plays tomorrow for a chance to win the 2026 Junior League Softball World Series. International teams, by the way, have done well in this tournament of late. They've won 2 of the last 3. As you go back to 2023, when the Philippines team from Bago City, different squad, they won in 2023. And then in 24, squad from Czechia won the Junior League Softball World Series.
Well, speaking of dancing, the Behar is voted by her team as the best dancer, first baseman over there.
Yeah, and she was trying to prove that there in the circle. Call stands.
Call stands. I don't think they could see anything that could overturn it.
Yeah,
so
I think that's the larger issue there.
So that will count as potentially, I think, as one of Puerto Rico's challenges.
So Sam Wellington, bottom of the order at the plate, with 2 outs. Shows bunt. Goes high for ball 1 to Sam Wellington. So the Philippines loses that challenge. And Lisby cannot miss on any more challenges should she choose to go that route anymore in regulation. The 1-0. That one is steered well foul. 1-1 off the bunt.
So even with 2 outs here, opting to try and put the ball in play with Wellington. I think it's a interesting challenge. Might have a little bit to do with the speed of Tamba and how she's throwing and the success that Wellington has been able to have off of her.
Bunt. Rolls foul after a couple of chops.
Philippines has a really strong corner defense, obviously with Tamba on the mound, and Barlita at 3rd does an exceptional job, and we've already talked about Behar at first base. So we'll see now with 2 strikes if she chokes up and goes to battle. Someone like Tamba, she should be looking to drive the ball the opposite way behind the runner. Good cut.
Saley back to first. She was hit by a pitch. Wellington at the plate. Tamba in the circle. The 1-2. That's in there. Got her looking. So Tamba gets another strikeout, her 4th of the day. And that sequence keeps it tied at 1 apiece. Tamba coming through with 2 out. Got a good one brewing in Kirkland. Tied at 1. Top of the 4th, about to unfold.
Both teams came out and scored early in the first inning, and then we've seen both pitchers kind of settle in a little bit more here in the last 2 innings. Tamba getting a few more of her traditional strikeouts that we've seen a lot of.
Getting a lot of support from the fans rooting for the Philippines in the stands. They've had fantastic support really all week long. The Filipino community does a terrific job of every year embracing the young ladies who come all this way to participate in this event. Michaela Joyce Agon, the batter, she is the one who delivered the tying RBI single in the bottom of the 7th yesterday.
And she is hitting in that last spot in the batting order, the 14th spot, but she's hitting .429 on the tournament.
Yeah.
So really a dangerous hitter that's at the, you would say, the bottom of their lineup. So it's a great place for Philippines to be if she can get on base.
Kenyon drops that one in there, 2-1.
Not often that you have your last hitter in the lineup hitting .429.
But you'll take it.
Absolutely.
3-1.
Working the count here. When you become that leadoff hitter of an inning, it's really about whatever it takes to get on first base.
And Agon does, walking on 4 pitches. 3rd walk issued by Kenyon. Back up at the top of the order we go. It's Audrey Colleen Madarong, who lined to Kate Bard at short to begin the game.
It's a scary part of the lineup coming up here for the Philippines.
And that's ball 1 to Madarong. Audrey says that her special talent is organizing things and helping her teammates remember their plays. You need at least one of those on your squad.
Well, I would say you need one of those in your household. I was that growing up. I like to organize things, so my mom always gave me a chore to a closet to organize, or so I can relate to that.
I'm sure Mom appreciated that in a lot of ways. Off speed again And Kenyon in danger of walking Matterong on 4 pitches.
Kenyon struggling here a little bit to find the strike zone. I think this is going through the second time now in the lineup.
Gets the strike called there.
Matterong's show and bunt there. Obviously, Haley Mann charging at third base.
Back-to-back walks.
Might see a timeout here, I think, at the very least. I don't know about a pitching change, but certainly a timeout at the very least.
With Justin Haynes, the manager of this team, heading out to the circle. Justin, 44 years old. Back in his playing days, he played in 2 Junior League World Series. Says his team is all business. All they do is just show up every day. They work hard, then they walk off the field.
Looks like it will be a pitch and change. Haley Mann and Kenyon are interchangeable at third in pitching, so she will get warmed up and go after this.
So Haley Mann to the circle, 2 on, nobody out for the Philippines.
Your attention, please.
After back-to-back walks to begin the inning, Haley Mann enters the circle. And the first batter she faces is Jewel Miles Bahar.
Bahar, a dangerous hitter, hitting .417 with a 1.0 OPS. High and tight.
Haley's numbers so far this week. Cracked over Mann's glove into center field for a base hit. Here comes the runner. The throw is well on time.
Great throw coming in from the center fielder, and plenty of time. Haley Mann actually almost caught that ball, which could have resulted in a double play, I think, as hard as that was hit. Bahar does a really good job of swinging this pitch, driving it up the middle, just out of the reach of Mann. But Songer does a great job, as we've seen all week, of coming up, making a good throw, and really no chance for a gone coming in.
Yeah, not even close. As Barlita swings, foul tip. No balls and 1 strike. Barlita with the single came around to score on an error in the first inning. Lone run for the Philippines to this point.
We're going to see a little different look at a Mann. More rise balls, more balls up in the zone. Quickly getting ahead, 0-2 there.
Haley Mann was told by her dad, Chuck, be a pitcher, not a thrower. It's pretty good advice.
That's great advice. I think too many times pitchers that don't really love pitching, they'll get out there and they can be physically execute the skill and throw, but pitchers truly that are pitchers need more than that.
Mann strikes out Barlita here, 2 away.
Really nice pitch. Again, we see that rise ball out of Mann, spinning the ball and getting a really competent hitter out. It's big out.
That brings up Cheska Palmera. Back to man, knocks it down, and the side is retired. Philippines had first and second with nobody out, but Haley Mann shuts it down. Bottom fourth in just a moment. That's Kate Brard, the leadoff batter for the West Region champs from Palo, Cedro, California. And the last time we saw Kate Brard at the plate, she did this. Leadoff shot.
Big swing on that pitch up in the zone. After making the error in the first inning that caused a run, she came out, leadoff batter, and said, I am going to tie this game up with one swing. And it was a well-hit ball.
So Brard leading things off in the fourth inning. Pulls it back just in time. One time through the order, and now having faced 13 batters, Faith Tombo with only 3 first pitch strikes so far today.
So a little different out of character for her.
Very different. Was it the first time around against California? Her first 3 innings, she threw 34 pitches, and 31 of them were for strikes.
Yeah, and I think she had started every batter with a strike. Guess when you only throw 4 balls, most of them are going to be strikes.
The 2-0. There's a swing and a miss. Foothill Little League, Palo, Cedro, California. Population just under 3,000 in the 2020 census. And it is in far northern California, in Shasta County. Gorgeous country up that way, about 160 miles north of Sacramento. 2 balls and 1 strike. The bunt. Tomba bare hands. The throw not in time.
Really impressive job there from Brard. Takes a big hack on that 2-0 pitch, and then here drops down a perfect bunt with a really good fielding pitcher. And it's not even close. Great job by Brard leading off this inning, being really savvy.
So Brard doesn't go yard, but still ends up at first. Riley Haynes struck out swinging in the first. Bunts again. Throw to first. Dribbles away from Chua. And Brard takes third.
Well executed sacrifice bunt there. Barlita does a good job of scooping it up. Has it in plenty of time to make a play, but too hot to handle over there for Chua at first base, and goes off of her glove.
As we watch Brard off and running right from the jump. No hesitation from first to third.
Palmera does a good job of releasing from third base to try and cover home. Kate Berard really getting aggressive jump off of the base at first and never hesitating going around to third.
Potential fulcrum moment here, first and third with nobody out, with the error adding to the pressure for the Philippines. Justin Haynes hoping the squad is able to come through and take the lead.
Interesting strategically here. Obviously, there's no outs. You've got Kenyon up and Songer on deck. Songer's hasn't been able to make an out in 10 at-bats. Kenyon, a threat for the long ball, so we'll see if they try and steal the base here, which opens up a base to put Kenyon on. Well,
Tamba calls time.
I think they're going to put Kenyon on right here.
Yep. Well, here's why Kylie Kenyon is being intentionally walked here in this situation. Take you back to Sunday in the 7th inning. Tied at 1 apiece, Kenyon in the plate. Not tied anymore. That 2-run shot ended up being the decisive runs and why California was able to go perfect in full play.
Be interesting to see if this comes back to haunt them, obviously, because Songer has been on fire. I guess statistically, at some point she's got to make an out. But Songer, the hot bat in their lineup right now, with bases loaded and nobody out.
Bree singled in the first. She's now reached safely in 10 consecutive plate appearances. 8 via hit, 2 via walk. And there's nowhere to put her. It's a good pitch, some funky movement. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Spun the ball really well there. Songer moves to the back of the box. Knows that Tamba's bringing speed here. I think Coach Haynes wants to talk about this, or Coach Mann wants to talk about this.
Time called, bases loaded. Berard at third, Haynes at second, Kenyon at first. Nobody out in the tie ball game.
I think you're talking to your hitter here. You're saying, hey, just settle in, do what you've been doing. Don't need to do anything different. You know she's going to bring the speed, go after a good pitch, and square it up. Have fun. Infield is in tight. Looking to cut off this run.
One and 2 now.
Philippines weren't surprised there. Obviously, corners were charging hard. Songer with 2 strikes now. But again, in a good situation here. She can track the ball deep and drive it opposite field. Not afraid of a changeup here.
Fouls it off and out of play.
Normally in the outfield situation here, in this situation, you might have outfielders not make a catch in a foul territory if it's too deep to throw the runner out.
Right.
I don't know if that's been discussed here, but it's a difficult thing. Obviously, with a hitter like this, do you sacrifice an out for a run? I think I might.
Might not have much choice. Got her. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Big strikeout by Tamba there, getting a very hot hitter.
Boy, and when
Pitch
she's
up
able to
in the
throw
zone.
this pitch,
Yeah,
it's lights
absolutely.
out.
Great movement on that pitch. Tough to stay off of. Big first out. Base is still loaded, though, with only 1 out.
Olivia Rowland flew out deep to left in the first. Sends this one to left as well. Catch by Diaz. Berard on the move. Scores easily. 2-1, California.
Good piece of hitting there by Ruland. She gets a ball she can drive out of the infield. And with the speed of Berard at third base, There's no play at the plate, obviously. She gets a great jump. I think heads up base running, she immediately gets back to tag up. Love that softball IQ. You can see she immediately turns, gets back to tag up. Reach for that ball. It's on first touch, and there's no chance they're going to throw Broad out. Great aggressive base running.
She's telling the dugout, let's go. Second and third, 2 out. Val Shaw does not connect on the bunt. No balls and 1 strike. By the way, Palo, Cedro, California. Apparently Merle Haggard, the country music legend, apparently he lived there for decades. Did not realize that. 0-1. Just misses outside.
I spent quite a bit of time in Redding, California, Shasta County, coaching the California Commotion against the Redding Rebels.
I like that, the California Commotion.
That was my women's major team with Lisa Fernandez and Dot Richardson, Sheila Dowdy, my sister.
One and two.
We won four consecutive national titles, and the Reading Rebels was our big rival team. We faced them all year long in big international tournaments. So they did a lot to grow the sport of softball there in that Shasta County, where this team is from.
That's a base hit. Scores at least one. Kenyon comes around and scores as well. A 2-run single for Val Shaw makes it 4-1.
Shaw showing here that she's not just a slapper. Obviously lets that ball get deep, drives it opposite field. And incredible base running there by Kenyon coming around. She shows bunt, pulls back and drives this ball opposite field. Really effective against Tomba. And Kenyon never breaks stride. That's a great jump and good move by third base coach to send her in with 2 outs. And now Shaw's on second base.
With Josie Kogel coming to the plate. Inside corner called for strike 1 to Josie. Kogel grounded out to first in the second. Popped up, no balls, 2 strikes. Three in so far. The runner at second.
Tomba's going to look to try and get herself out of this inning and keep this game within reach.
Coming in and making the scooping grab, Matarong from short, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. 3 across for California as the West Region champs take their first lead of this game. Val Shaw drives in 2, and it's 4-1 after 4. dancing from the young ladies from Quebec as they're enjoying the show. The Canada Region champions in the stands. And they've been able to check out a good ball game to this point. West Region champs out of California ahead of the Asia Pacific Region champs 4-1. We begin the 5th inning, Everest Park. Semi-final mode here in the Junior League Softball World Series. Troy Clarity, Kirk Walker, our incredible crew, and you.
Well, it has been a fun game. Lots of action, lots of hitting, a little bit of pitching. So it's 4-1 right now. I don't think this game is over. I don't think either team's going to be done.
Faith Tamba looks at ball 1. Well, for the Philippines, in the 2nd inning, they got caught in a rundown between 2nd and 3rd. 3rd inning ended with a line-out bunt that ended up being a 1-4 double play. 4th inning, 1st and 2nd, nobody out, had a runner thrown out at home, and they don't score any runs at all. Those are the types of things that add up.
Those little things certainly can come back to haunt you. I think you can always be aggressive, but you want to make sure that you're being intentional and being smart with your base running and your moves.
Meanwhile, Haley Mann walks Faith Tamba on 4 pitches.
It's a little bit of a bad situation, obviously, with as a pitcher when your team just scores 3 runs for you. Last thing you want to do is lead off the next half inning with a walk. So she'll settle in, go to work. Tamba on first base now.
Mann, the 2nd pitcher for California today after Kylie Kenyon threw the first 3+. Strike 1 call to Joey Feb Diaz, who walked in the 1st inning.
Good job by Haley Mann coming right back and going at that strike zone. Sometimes you lose a little bit of the feel out there and just want to let go and focus on the next pitch.
That's high for ball 1. Bacolod City in the Philippines, about 300 miles south of Manila and about 6,640 miles from Kirkland, Washington. But who's counting? Last foul, 1-2. Many IT companies in Bacolod City. American troops actually introduced softball, which was initially called indoor baseball, to the Philippines. It was formally introduced in local public schools back there in 1911. How about that? You look at the world that has come to Kirkland from all points on the globe. The 10 respective regions represented here.
Had the great opportunity internationally to play against the Philippines.
Coming in, making the grab in right. And nope, she didn't hang on to it.
Yeah, they're going to call the catch. It was in the transition. Umpire signals the catch is good, and the ball got loose on transition.
So Wellington able to smile about that one.
Chantal and Tira.
That brings up Chantal and Tira. Opposite field, foul ball. Yeah, Philippines trying to make a bit of a move on the international scene.
They are for sure, and I think we've seen some really talented athletes here in the U.S. With Filipino background and heritage that have gone over and played for their national team, and I've certainly had a great fortune to coach a number of athletes with nationality and heritage from the Philippines.
Tira down quickly, 0-2. Philippines national women's team had a great run back in the 70s. Kind of declined a little bit in the 90s, but trending upwards. No balls and 2 strikes. As that pitch goes up high, 1-2. Got to start thinking about the Olympics coming up here in a couple of years. LA, the host city, but the softball will be contended in Oklahoma City, which knows a little something about hosting big softball events. Here's a fly ball. And it's just past Songer's reach.
Fortunately for the West, the runner on first had to hold, thinking that Songer might make that catch.
Yeah, that's only a single.
So that only goes for a single, which is fortunate for the West. Songer makes a great attempt on that ball. I think she was a little bit delayed at first, but does make a great attempt, leaving her feet. And the left fielder does a nice job of being right there behind her to back her up and get that ball from the fence. So good job on the defense, teamwork, and keeping the Philippines to just a long, allowed single.
And that brings up Jenny Rose Hermojino, who struck out to begin the second inning, as we have time called momentarily. Kirk, this is our third game, I believe, that we've done for the West Region champs so far this week. And every game that you and I have done, we've talked about all the little things that this team tends to do right.
Yeah, it really is. It's, you know, I think the discipline at the plate, I think really solid defense. They don't tend to make back-to-back plays, defensive mistakes or miscues, so you see them pretty calm and composed. They sacrifice, they bunt really well, and I love their base running. I think their base running has been exceptional, and that's one area where I think we've seen some other teams run themselves out of innings and out of opportunities has been base running. So hats off to the coaching staff here from Palo, Cedro, the Foothill Little League champs. And
a little high, a little outside as well. It appears 1 ball, 2 strikes.
it's a good pitch by Mann. Actually, she's ahead in the count. Doesn't need to throw anything too close. Trying to get that called strike on the outside.
But comes back and fires one right down Broadway for strike 3.
Small adjustment there, and she goes right after that strike zone with a little bit lower pitch in the zone, but clearly a great adjustment and knows that the umpire is not going to hesitate with that call on the outside.
Mann's second strikeout.
Big strikeout there with 2 outs now.
For Angel Chua at the plate. And ruled to have held up on the check swing. Chua singled in the second, but was later erased on a rundown between second and third.
Left field and center field are playing pretty deep right here. I think they're trying to protect from a ball get hit in the gap and giving up a secondary run. At this position they're in, they probably don't have the ability to throw out the runner on second base, but they've got a good chance of keeping that runner from first from scoring.
And it is Tamba, the pitcher, at second. You do have the chance to do a courtesy runner.
But we've seen this same situation where Tamba, I think, might be one of their fastest and best base runners, and they opt to keep her out there. So trying to use her speed and not tough for her, doesn't give her a break before she goes back out to the circle.
How about that pitch? Man, what a way to end that at bat. And the Philippines with 2 on, leave them there. 4-1 our score, bottom of the 5th inning coming up in a moment. But man, what a pitch that was. Beautiful downtown Kirkland, Washington. Opposite side of Lake Washington from Seattle. And all eyes in this town are focused squarely on the Junior League Softball World Series. We got championship day tomorrow, semifinal day today. Here is a running subplot of this game. Philippines with chances, left 2 on in the previous frame, 2 on after getting 2 on base with nobody out in the 4th inning, and also left them loaded in the 1st inning. Philippines have had chances, but have had trouble converting. And Haley Mann pops this one up. Behar makes an easy grab. 1 pitch, 1 out, bottom 5th.
Well, Mann and Kenyon both in the circle for the West have done a good job of getting some key strikeouts. Actually, when they've had runners on, too. We had 2 strikeouts there with runners on, and I think that's another one of those little things that we talk about, is that when the Philippines have gotten runners on, they've done a good job of settling in and not giving anything extra to their opponents. Yep. No extra bases, no extra mistakes. Really trying to force the Philippines to earn every base.
Wes Berry flew out to left in the 3rd.
Nice pitch by Tomba on the outside. He's got great movement on that pitch, great location.
Hey, what you just did, I don't care about that. It's 1 at bat.
And I think by and large, that's been her out pitch today.
Hitting the corners has definitely been a strength of hers. Good pitch on the end, working the other side of the plate. That's the thing I've been most impressed with Tomba. While she doesn't mix speeds, she does a really good job of hitting her spots, and can set up hitters by change of location.
Goes high here.
Tomba's got a great future ahead of her for the Philippines. Obviously not going to be bound for Olympic competition here in 28. But I think an athlete like this for the Philippines can change the complexity of international ball for the Philippines down the road.
Yeah, and she was one of the 6 players who were here last year in Kirkland and had some impressive outings then. She struck out 11 batters against Texas last year. Struck out 17 against Texas this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple rolls. Matterong sends one over Behar at first.
The hustle of Wes Berry getting down the line causes Matterong to try and accelerate her throw and throw harder than she needed to. Hustling out of the box, always another one of those little things. I will say it really put the pressure on Matterong to rush her play, rush her throw. We've seen Matterong make great throws all week.
Yeah.
But the hustle by Berry down the line, really impressive.
Scored a single. And brings us to Gracie Wilson, who pops this one up. Behar ranges over, but that one lands in the stands. Wilson struck out swinging in the 3rd.
Wilson wants to be an X-ray tech. It's her dream job. She loves riding horses and playing volleyball.
That one's grabbed for out number 2.
Matterong's not going to let that one get away from her. Getting that big second out of the inning.
And that brings up Emma Saley, who was nicked by a pitch. I've got it written down as HBP in my scorecard, but it should probably be NBP, nicked by pitch, back in the 3rd inning.
It's very descriptive and very accurate. So a little bit of a mystery of where it got hit, but something did. We heard it.
By the way, it just occurred to me that intentional walk that Tomba issued on Kylie Kenyon in the 4th, only the 2nd walk that Tomba has issued all week. And she's thrown every pitch for the Philippines in 5+ games now. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
And while I understand that strategy and there's some validity to it, that it did come back to hurt them because Kenyon came around to score. So not only did the runners in front of Kenyon score, but Kenyon scored. So probably would have been, in hindsight, an opportunity to try and get her to pop up.
And that's the 6th strikeout of the afternoon for Tombo, who has now struck out 66 batters and has walked only 2 this week. Philippines have work to do, top of the 6th coming up, but Tombo still in top form. Well, things are just ducky for the West right now. 4-1, California leading the Philippines after 5 innings in the book. Find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles @Little League. And don't forget to use hashtag LLWS. Haley Mann, since coming in with 1st and 2nd and nobody out in the 4th inning, has been able to hold it down, getting big strikeouts along the way.
Yeah, she's been dealing right here and come up with some big strikeouts and definitely kept Puerto Rico or Philippines from getting any opportunity to put runs across the plate. It's been really impressive.
Philippines with runners at 1st and 2nd in the 4th and the 5th, but don't score in either of those frames. 10th batter in the order is Castillo. She dropped down that sacrifice bunt that ended in that crazy rundown.
Great snag there by Mann.
Yes, indeed.
Pays to have a great fielding pitcher. She plays 3rd when Kenyon's pitching. And you can see here, she's used to the hot corner. And she's used to the hot mound. Coming back quick at her. Great hands.
I got it.
Haley Mann, really impressive.
Janine Pasilan. Bottom sixth inning, 4-1, California with the lead over the Philippines. A chance to advance to the championship game is at stake. Winner of this one will face either North Carolina or Michigan in the championship game tomorrow. First, need to conclude our business in this game. We begin with the bottom of the order. In the bottom of the sixth inning, Sam Wellington struck out back in the third inning. Faith Tomba still in the circle. And the bunt goes back. We should mention, just to note here, that apparently there is a power outage affecting the east side of the Seattle metro area. So a good portion of the city of Kirkland, where we are, and apparently a couple of other communities are also without power at this point. The 0-1. Charges, throws to first. It's handled, one gone.
Wellington in the 12 spot in the lineup. Tries to put a bunt down in play, but Barlita handles it at third base really well. Had a miscue on a bunt earlier today. It was costly, but that one results in an out.
Well, hold everything. Here's Kate Brard. What a day she's had so far.
Kate Brard has showed us the long ball and the sneaky bunt.
Yeah.
Done a little bit of it all, and her base running's been exceptional, and defense. So right now, I'm saying she might have a chance for a little bit of an MVP role in the game here.
That pitch is on the outside corner, 1-1. Brard with that solo home run in the first inning. Tied it up at 1 apiece after the Philippines had pushed one across in the top half of the first.
She did have that defensive miscue in the first half of the inning before the home run, and cost the West an opportunity to get out of that inning, and Philippines scored.
Roped into left field for a base hit. Kate Brard is 3 for 3.
3 hits on the day. That's a well-struck ball as well in the 5-6 hole. She's been locked in since that first inning with that miscue. Sometimes those challenges that get thrown at you kind of bring your focus and your heighten, and she has definitely been lights out in this game since that first half inning.
Lights out, pun intended.
Scoreboard lights are out.
And more. Riley Haynes, a strikeout in the first, reached on an error and scored in the fourth.
Brard, aggressive lead over there at first base. She's, I think, wanting to steal a base. She's feeling it right now. She's feeling a little invincible, and we'll see if she tries to take second base.
Pulls back the bunt. Brard on the move, safe.
Right now, Brard can do no wrong. Great jump, first base, exceptional speed, and a really fantastic slide into second base. Sliding away from the base and tagging, there was no chance that that throw was going to get her.
One and one to Haynes.
Brard now in scoring position here.
Big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomba had thrown 81 pitches coming into this inning, 60 of them for strikes. It's a pretty good ratio, but still a bit underneath what she had been coming into the day all week. High, 2-2. Throw to third, bounces away. Brard off and running and scoring. that Tamba's issued at all in 5+ games versus 67 strikeouts now on the week. Swing and miss. I mean, look, generally a strikeout to walk ratio of 2-to-1 is considered pretty decent. How about a strikeout to walk ratio of 67-2?
That's pretty insane. And she didn't even throw a single ball in that intentional walk. They just put her on, so. That obviously does count as a walk, but it's a different category, an intentional walk, ITB, IBB.
We are back, and thank you for hanging in there with us. Some electrical issues here, not just of ballpark, but also in Kirkland, Washington, and around parts around the east side Seattle metro area. So we apologize for being away from you for a few moments or so, but we are back, and California has extended its lead 5-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kylie Kenyon.
What you might have missed was Kate Berard's offensive solo excitement. So drove a base hit, stole second, stole third, and then came home on an errant throw. That's why the score is now 5-1 if you happen to miss that while we were away. Faith Tamba here now, trying to get her 8th strikeout of the day.
And she does.
Big strikeout from a big hitter right there.
As Kylie Kenyon goes down on strikes, and it comes down to this. Philippines down to its final 3 outs. Comes down to this, top of the 7th inning with a chance to play for the Junior League Softball World Series Championship directly at stake. The West Region champs out of California in the driver's seat. All they need is 3 more outs to be playing for a title tomorrow. Bottom of the order due up for the Philippines here. Michaela Joyce Agone, Audrey Colleen Matarang, and Jewel Miles Behar. 14, 1, and 2 batters in the Philippines order.
Haley Mann looking to close this out. She's come in and done an excellent job in relief of Kenyon. Made some good plays defensively, gotten some big strikeouts, managed the runners that the Philippines have gotten on, and she's in a position right now to close this out with a 4-run lead.
But the Philippines getting on base immediately.
As we've seen from this Philippines team, they are never out. And Agon, who's been hitting .429 coming to this tournament, a really scary hitter in that 14th spot. she does a great job getting on base.
Yeah, she tied it up in the 7th yesterday. Gets on base with a leadoff single in the 7th here today. Matterhorn goes around. No balls and 1 strike. Matterhorn walked in the 4th.
Haley Mann goes right at, obviously, that leadoff hitter, and as she should.
The bunt on the run. No play.
Spectacular bunt placed. Haley Mann trying to attack and get that ball. Probably best bet would have been for the catcher to come out and make a play, but either way, with the speed of Matarong, I don't know if she would have been thrown out. Great bunt.
Well, Philippines doing what it needs to do here at the start, but it hasn't been able to finish half innings at the plate for much of this game. Karam's off to hit the runner between first and second as it went off of Matterhorn.
Big mistake here, base running wise. I think if I were, I think I might appeal that if I'm the Philippines, because once the ball passes an infielder, it's no longer a problem. Now, the second baseman did have a shot at making that play, but in general, once the ball passes an infielder, the runners are released from that obligation to avoid the ball. So while it gets past her, but for here, they're going to call it an out.
Yep, and another little thing that goes against the Philippines.
That's a big mistake, because I think that would have been a tough play. Probably could have been sitting here with the tying run at the plate. No outs. And now we have 1 out with a big hitter up here in Barlita,
who needed to get a new bat. Had to go back to the dugout and say, hey, give me thunder.
She's got some pop in her and some power.
Singled in the first, scored on a throwing error, and struck out in the 4th. Down here, 0-2.
She's gonna be careful of trying to swing too big here. She needs to pass the bat.
And that's strike 3.
Really interesting call there, obviously, with your leading hitter up with 2 strikes. Tries to put down a bunt with 2 strikes, and that's another ill-advised thing, taking the Philippines out of this inning so far.
It's been the story of the game. Left him loaded in the first, caught in a run down between second and third in the second, double play in the third, runner thrown out at home in the 4th. And now it's all up to Cheska Palmera.
So big switch in tide and momentum there. Obviously, Philippines came out firing, putting the pressure on the West, and now the West 1 out away. Haley Mann wanting that outside pitch. It's tough in this situation. You're feeling it, you're so close, wanting it so bad, but you just got to do the things you're supposed to do, 1 pitch at a time.
Philippines down to its final out yesterday, but they only needed to make up 1 run. They got to make up 4 here. The 3-0. Bases loaded.
Well, this brings up a really interesting scenario here with Faith Tamba coming to the plate, the pitcher that's thrown every inning and been responsible for pitching in this game. She now represents the tying run at the home plate with 2 outs.
Meeting in the circle. Bases loaded.
I think this is a good timeout here just to settle them down and communicate and say, look, the pressure's still on them. Just do what you do, throw strikes. Give your team a chance to get you this last out.
Get some encouragement from the teammates. Confer with the catcher.
You know, the tricky thing here is obviously you want to come out and throw strikes, but you want to continue to focus on throwing good pitches, because a meaty pitch down the middle here could result in a grand slam, which this hitter is capable of.
Faith Tamba walked in the 5th, reached on an error in the 1st.
I would even venture to say walking in a run here with Tamba would be more beneficial than leaving anything over the plate. It's a good pitch.
1-1.
Nice movement there. Brings the count even. It's got to feel good for Haley Mann to get a strike in there after 5 consecutive balls.
Philippines down to its last strike.
Tamba really wanted to do damage. Again, wanting something so much can work against you sometimes. She takes a deep breath, composes, and she's going to try and keep her team's chances alive.
The 1-2. Back to Mann, past her, into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. The Philippines aren't done yet. It's 5-3.
Really a professional at bat there from Tamba. She settles in after the big swing, takes a deep breath, and says, I'm just going to put solid contact on it, and drives the ball right past a really good Haley Mann defensively.
Philippines down to their last strike yesterday. They were able to tie it up. This isn't happening again, is it?
Well, I think the West will like to change the outcome here, but they now they need to get Faith Tamba from first base all the way around to score. So if I'm the West, I'm settling in, focusing on trying to get an out here. It's a good pitch.
1-1. So Jolie Fab Diaz walked in the 1st, flew out to right in the 5th. Thought about it, didn't go for it.
Haley Mann needs to stay composed here and just do what she's been doing. She's done a great job. She's got a good team defense behind her.
Fly ball to right. Going back, Wellington, she's under it. She makes the catch, and that's your ball game. Foothill Little League, winless in pool play last year. They're playing for a championship this year. The final score, California 5, the Philippines 3. And 1 ticket has been punched to the championship game tomorrow. Palo, Cedro, stand up, where you will await tomorrow either Michigan or North Carolina. Kirk, we've been talking about little things all week. California did it again here today.
California does a great job. Congrats to them. And they did all the little things and did well, stayed strong that inning. A really impressive outing from Kenyon and Mann both. But hats off to Philippines.
Yes.
They really, Faith Tamba does an amazing job, but wow, they put a run at it here in the 7th inning again.
Yeah.
And so you have to be proud of what they've done, and certainly excited for California to move on.
Yes, California will be in tomorrow's championship game. Can't wait for that. Thanks for joining us here. On behalf of Kirk Walker and our crew, I'm Troy Clarity. The West is best and headed to the championship tomorrow.